So we've met it at last. I understand that whale, it has been and once it is...
You said that when the Hydro Archon first...
Precisely. Therefore, when it left the primordial sea...
We just barely managed to push it back, right? In that case...
That is correct. Indeed, it is more accurate to say that we should thank that Harbinger for... From the way he looked, he must have been fighting the creature for quite a long time.
That battle maniac. We've always known that he had a special connection with that whale, but anyway, now that we know that this whale is the actual...
It is too late. It had already absorbed too much of the primordial sea's energy before we could notice it. Even if the entirety of Devath were to be destroyed, it could still survive and swim off towards some up...
That's not... We've already done everything we can, and we've come so far.
Indeed. That's not how a grand performance should end.
I'll fight it to the end. No.
So the prophecy will be fulfilled no matter what, huh?
The prophecy. Yes. What has... Just as prophecies are usually ultimately, fate shall serve as your only...
Trees.
I believe it is preparing to carry out the death sentence.
Farina! No, I still need answers.
Sorry. That shocked expression...
You are not Farina.
The sweet sound of bewilderment. Marvelous. A sure sign that my attempt to deceive everyone was a resounding success. But... Sorry. That shocked expression...
You are not Farina.
The sweet sound of bewilderment. Marvelous. A sure sign that my attempt to deceive everyone was a resounding success. But to answer your question, I am Focalor. You know.
Focalor? Why did you deceive us?
Oh, that wasn't my goal, of course. Goodness, no. The heavenly principles.
Deceiving the heavenly...
It's all because of that pernicious prophecy. Dreadful, wasn't it? Everyone doomed to dissolve. Fontaine condemned to be flooded. One was not amused. In fact, one was positively bemused when that problem was thrust upon me by my dearest predecessor. She knew full well that the prophecy would surely come to pass. And as one of the seven, she also knew full well that one defies the heavenly principle. So yes, as you have no doubt surmised, it was a rather impossible situation that I found myself in. I spent a terribly long time mulling it over, alone on the ocean floor. And I was almost growing barnacles by the time I finally realized there was only one possible solution to this confounding conundrum. I had to outwit the heavenly principles, allow the prophecy to be fulfilled, ostensibly at least, while I'm a genius, I know. I can only assume that's why Egeria chose me as her successor. Although, looking back now, it was hardly the inheritance one dreams of. Between the task of saving the nation, the quotidian duties of the Hydro Archon, and not to mention the original sin of creating a new race of humans, I dare say she left me quite a colossal mess to clean up. But one can only play the hand one is dealt. I did not choose this, any more than I chose to be one of her Oceanid familiars.
So you were also once one of the Oceanids, transformed into a human by Egeria's hand.
Yes, I was. I always dreamed of becoming human. And I still do, even now. In my eyes, to be human is to be part of the greatest opera ever known. After becoming a god, I separated my divinity from my body and spirit, leaving behind only a self that was as naive and bewildered as my past self on her first day as a human being. The me you see before you now is that divinity, and the human counterpart I left behind, I named Farina. She could feel joy, sorrow, and everything in between. She could be as vain and conceited, or as meek and vulnerable as she wished. Her strengths were of a kind only a human could possess, as were her shortcomings. But in my eyes, Farina's humanity was what made her perfect. She was perfectly... Anyway, so then I cursed her. Receive the heavenly principles. Do you still remember the final scene of the prophecy? The Hydra Archon, alone, weeping on her throne. In order that the prophecy might appear fulfilled, I invited Farina to play the part of the Hydro Archon in the prophecy. Under the curse I placed on her, so long as I, Focalor's divinity, continued to exist, she could not die. But nor was she free to live her life in the pursuit of happiness. Instead, I suppose now you probably understand why your court is called the
Even though she has had a long life, her mind is no stronger than that of any other ordinary human being.
I suppose now you probably understand why your court is called the
Even though she has had a long life, her mind is no stronger than that of any other ordinary human being. I cannot begin to fathom what she has had to endure.
It has indeed. And although she is, in a sense, me in human form.
Even though she has had a long life, her mind is no stronger than that of any other ordinary human being. I cannot begin to fathom what she has had to endure.
It has indeed. And although she is, in a sense, me in human form. Infinitely. It's been 500 years. It's been 500 years. And all along, she's been playing her part in the most unimaginably long, unbearably lonely, and agonizingly painful opera of all time.
Oh, who permitted you to come onto this stage? Now, All right. It is not my intent to... There is no need. I am... I am... Dear audience, the performance is experiencing a technical difficulty, but worry not. The guards shall resolve it soon enough.
Witness my rise. Overruled.
Hey, what gives? The audience is still watching me, you know. Guards? Wait, where are the guards? Guards!
Farina.
Huh? Who's that? Who's calling me?
Be not nervous. Be not afraid.
Wait a moment. You're... mirror me? How can this...
Mirror you, huh?
Mirror me? What do you wish to say?
The prophecy.
What prophecy? The people will all be dissolved into the waters.
Oh.
What's going on?
Yes, it will. And that is why I've come to...
But doesn't that mean
I will tell you how...
Oh, so there's still... As for the... But if the prophecy will... If there were scales...
You truly... I suppose this would also be the justice that belongs... Huh? Don't worry.
Play at...
That's right. If you can keep it up, then I shall have my way.
But how will...
Don't worry. What you must do is not to turn yourself in being a human yourself. Remember, your true...
So, how long am...
To accomplish this mission, you will have to... But I...
A trial? Huh. The Maison. What should I say? I'm sure you've all... In truth, as the god Focalor, the god of justice. Once again, this... I thought I...
That's the new Hydro Archon. Is this some kind of joke by the Maison? I would have thought that a being that surpassed...
Hey, did you hear that? She even told us to send her
Shouldn't gods be all-powerful? She's being so modest.
If you ask me, perhaps the succession didn't actually happen.
Wait, what's right? Calm down, Farina. Assertive. Now, I was wondering if you may Now then!
Ah, so that was just a performance. How could I have forgotten that we...
Personality? It's quite shocking, to be honest, but I suppose it's a better look than before. Such a fascinating and bold deity. How wonderful! Our future may yet be bright after all.
It seems I've turned... My dear people, whether you acknowledge me or not, whether you trust me or nay, I say to you, we have heard it said, the scale may law be the prayer on our lips, may judgment there is, so long as...
Lady Farina, here are today's case reports, as well as a summary of the follow-up for your...
Besides,
That's true,
No need for fright, and do not take what I said before too seriously. Go now.
Lady Farina.
No need. All right.
Here.
Lady Farina.
I see. It's as I thought. All manner. Really?
I'm...
The day is fun, but it's good. Maybe this is...
Lady Farina, here are the new trial reports for...
Lady Farina.
Indeed.
Lady Farina, we're detecting significant...
Understood. I feel...
Lady Farina. It's like a dream being able. I've heard that the. Oh, are you crying?
This must be the overflow of hydro from my person. Well, can't quite help being the. So interminable. Hundreds, I never have. I want to dive. All I can do is keep.
Farina, you don't have to shoulder this burden, although I don't.
Share, that's impossible.
But even if you're just share it.
A witness. And if. He's right. But if. No, Farina. But what if, Farina, is it if you think about it long and hard? No, all you need to do, dear spectator, is...
Fine.
So even for...
Yes, she did very well. If she... It seems that trusting
I believe... How would you...
Ah, good, good. Of course the Eudex of Fontaine has... I'm sure...
I've always suspected that it had its own consciousness. And Lenny did mention that he heard a... It now seems...
And then I became one with the Oratries, taking Fontaine's gnosis with me. Yes. Alas, in truth, it... Oh... my work. But really, the vast majority has been... had to be...
It was all...
Indeed. This power accrued over 5 but...
So the oratory... The destruction of that divine throne...
Returning... In other words, this was all done to return the authority of the... No, what? The authority...
All you've done...
I've never quite... Hydro Dragon. I must say, had it been within my... Egeria stole the power of the primordial sea. And I, from speaking of justice, I have always believed that so, if the theft of the primordial sea, then... leaving in other defying at this Eudex nerve.
So when at last, in the beginning, I was uninterested in human existence. But these 5 centuries, you are things being as they are. Surely you know that I could never declare them.
The hour of my execution is almost here. For the sinner, the curtain call has come. I know I may not sound it, but faced with death, I find myself a little afraid. Perhaps this is one thing both gods and humans have in common. Farewell, Nervalette. I hope you've enjoyed the part you played these 500 years.
Codex Nouvellette, hereby declare, people of Fontaine, your sins are forgiven.
What just happened?
Was that bright light some sort of misdirection?
But since we're all still alive...
It's time to end this. We must meet...
Didn't you say just a moment ago?
I have gained the strength, so we should seize the opportunity, Traveler. Now that the oratories can no longer... The root of the calamity. Come with me, Traveler. Done my best to summon the power of the whale. Considering the size of the beast, I cannot reach the power source. Unless we can find a way to attack it from within. I shall share a part of the ancient dragon's power with you. For an opening. Continue to trigger its hostility. A chance will present itself. You my friend. Do not fear. Seize the moment and use my power to suppress its root from within.
Time to shine!
Thanks for helping with the cleanup. It was just supposed to be a short private training session for me. I didn't... Well, actually, I had a feeling that it would happen at some point. But they bought...
That power...
Paimon has an idea. From what she said earlier, she might... It's just that he gave us the impression that she was,
I simply did not have anything to say to the weak. so you may speak to me as equals. I have to agree. It's a strange use of a that kind of power is wasted on. All in all, the point.
Well, so what sort of person is your master?
His name is Sertologi.
Huh?
I am...
So master is insufficiently famous.
The foul...
Still no.
Ooh, that...
Oh, but I suppose you...
Wait!
Actually, that they all such royally as such. In other words...
What?
Not to worry.
In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only Farina will remain. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
Receding!
It's a miracle!
Water's receding.
We didn't dissolve. The prophecy was wrong. The prophecy was wrong.
The prophecy was wrong.
The soil renewed. The Spina Rasula attacks post-disaster old soil, skyship, the various people always... Wow! Paimon barely recognizes the people...
What do you think? Pretty enthralling, huh? The value for these big... Edwin's assistant, Jurier, created a...
Paimon's cute...
And that's exact... Oh, this time... Oh, it's...
Hey,
I'm here to update... let me introduce you. This is Mr. Our residents are...
Hello, Miss Charlotte. I'm a big fan of... But if you don't...
I get where you're coming from.
That would be fun.
Oh, you're back too. How are things?
We finished laying...
Huh?
Well, her reputation's greatly risen after that whole...
There's too much to consider in the reconstruction of Poisson.
Oh, wait just a moment. Do you mind me asking if...
Forget it.
I see.
Well, if we're talking about doing things for mice...
Of course I will. I'm not gonna let him off that easy. All right, then...
How did it go? Was it a...
Not bad. Your addition really helped the composition of the picture. All right, hang on a moment. Let me snap a few more... All right, that should do it. I'll be back here later anyway, so let's call it a day.
You're very quick.
Speed is also not...
Wow.
I'll hazard a guess that this is how you got...
Whoa.
That's a...
In truth, I told him...
You're right.
Stay safe now. And...
Wow, guess we're here again, huh? There's a real
Looks like you've been missing us.
Duke! Did you...
Of course.
It's an honor to...
No need to thank.
Of course,
All right then. This way. It would seem that Miss Lorvine doesn't want...
Sir, please...
No,
Now, I might not look it, but I have the boat that... Still, if I'm...
I have to apologize, but that ship is
Really?
You already know my answer, I'm afraid. Best you interview our head nurse instead. Or...
Did you really have to use... Well, then,
Is my hair messed up?
Things sure are getting pretty lively here. Oh, seems like everyone's here. Would any of you like...
Hey, Miss Sharp.
sure. Do I have to smile? So, how have things been...
Same old same.
Other than that flying ship.
That's why I just...
You're too kind.
I see. Lots...
He sure did...
I'll tell them that...
Oh.
What change can there be? As to what Miss Farina's departure will mean for the nation, and if our laws and governance will be transformed, we'll leave...
Hey, everyone. The photo shoot's done.
Good. In that case, let's call it a...
Thanks for your cooperation. Come on, Traveler, let's go.
There'll be...
Maybe. All right. Last stop, the docks. Navia mentioned that she stayed...
Traveler, Paimon. Ah, and Miss Charlotte.
Would you like a magic pocket? What sort of get? It's a wonder... Trick a friend.
You could just make a friend like Fremine here. Isn't that right, Fremine?
To be honest, that sounds pretty sweet. Could I have—
Lynette sure is working hard to help Fremine so—
He was the one who proposed doing this. He even—
Yes, I was planning to first introduce—
That said, would anyone want to see a diver escape underwater?
Oh, it'll work out.
Lynette, could you—
Got it.
My, that Charlotte is rather perceptive. She got rid of everyone the moment she realized Father says—
that's—
Oh, after Lady—
A diplomatic—
Yes, it could have been done. Furthermore,
that's—
I would agree. I suspect—
but
They say that he's returned to—
that's true. When you think about it, we've had loads—
So shocked by such a simple switching of sides?
Father!
Well, what do you know?
Are you going to take the note?
That is our— Don't be switching my masks. Well, that depends on many things. As for you, I very much look forward to our next collaboration. Good things cannot be achieved alone, and you've proved yourselves to be great partners. A vision.
And that's a wrap for me.
Huh? Greetings, Miss Journalist. That is correct. So forgive me, but I will not be able to serve as a subject in your article. However, feel free to write as much as you'd like. The sea breeze is quite pleasant.
Farewell, Father.
Oh, she has such an intimidating presence. I didn't even dare to take a picture. Thankfully, I've already wrapped up all my pre-scheduled—
Don't be too nervous. Why don't you take a magic pocket before you go? Here, Traveler, Paimon.
To move things about?
That's right. I guess this— All right, then.
Well, guess we sent Charlotte out. Shall we go see what Neverlette's doing? As long as he's not so busy that he doesn't have time to chat anyway.
Really? Oh, in any case, you can't—
All right, let's— So, Fusselor, but Paimon still doesn't quite get what you—
For me, Fontaine, but so long. In other words,
Fusselor must have counted— Yeah!
it seems from your expressions that you still have more things you wish to ask away. I will tell you the truth.
When we spoke, we guessed that—
So regarding this specific issue, in truth, I exchanged some further words with that lady named Skirk after sending you two back to the surface. It went something like this.
Well, we're going to head topside to see what's going on. You—
What next?
The all-devouring narwhal isn't here. I can finally catch the scent of your power. What it's made, it is the authority of the planet's primordial dragons. but with something very similar. I'm sure I've encountered something like this before.
I do not know what you speak of.
Of course. You should have the remains of the third descender on your person, yet...
Remains? I've never...
According to your parlance, I believe it may be called a gnosis.
Well, that much is true. After Focalor's divinity faded, but I fear I have never heard of it described in the manner that you just...
I've been training with my master, the Foul, ever since I was young. It is only natural, regardless, to live in itself as...
What do you mean? This third...
If you're interested, though.
Next time, you will...
I do.
That's what she told me.
The remains of... So that's what the...
All the same, assuming...
And she said that it would...
If she speaks... I guess that you might all... That means that...
Like... No, comparing the Traveler to the dead third descender, that's what you...
I too believe it unwise to make too many...
Alright.
Yes.
But...
I suppose that would be the mystery of a god. I suspect not. But once in a while, I too would guess that if life flip... And what old...